controlling the buttons?
Should be. Start by man gonna be in some field.
All right, we made it to Mooresville Dragway for a little shootout by Drive-By Mafia. You got Robbie Havens back here and Leo here. These guys are doing a few things here. Gonna go down here and make a test hit, then get ready for round one and see what happens right here. All right, Leo, why I caught you and Robbie both in here at the trailer, going over the tunes and everything, getting ready. How was your first test pass, sir?
Good A to B pass. Just left the same tune-up we was using last time we was down here, and didn't run identical, even with the gear change. Run identical, same thing.
Track seems to be pretty good. I know.
Very good.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens here in a few minutes. Test pass.
We did good, mile an hour good, but shut off at the end and found a blown fuse, and every time we put one in, it keeps blowing it. The only thing I know of, I got a little frustrated with it yesterday and accidentally ripped the USB cord out of the Dominator, and that's the only thing that's changed, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know you're looking forward to it, and I know they're getting ready to draw for first round right here, so we'll go down here and see what you got first round.
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. First round, small tire. Got some Camaro action. All right, I apologize, I missed your test hit, but you just got through round one there, and you got it.
Yeah, it's exciting. I tell you, it's a new car. These boys put the time in it, and it's paying off. It's a little hard to drive. I'm going to go see Topher and get him to line this rascal, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everything, a handful, but it's really looking up. I mean, we put one of our laziest tunes in it, and it's amazing what the car's actually doing.
I know if you could hear us as the starting line back there, you wouldn't believe it. I mean, it was just...
Well, the boys always get on to me for not pedaling, and I hit the wall sometimes here and there, but this time I think they was squalling to get back in it. So, I heard them, so I went ahead and did it, and it worked out for me.
You got the first round win, so...
And this will be putting us in the, semis, actually.
Yeah.
There's 3 cars left. I think it's 2 third gens and a 4th gen.
Yep, that's what it is, and we'll go over here and talk to Leo, because...
and they all black.
Yeah.
All black.
Yeah,
All black.
all LS and all black, and we know a black car is going to win the race today, so that's a safe bet. I'm going to get over here and get with Leo and Robbie and see how things were for them.
This track's working great. I like Mooresville. I like to come down here. I like to thank Carolina Performance, Robert Dollar, everybody for everything done. Leo Sanchez, guys hooked me up with everything I need, shifting wise, fuel wise, you need it, they got it. Even got beautiful stickers.
I appreciate that.
Well, thank y'all guys.
All right, thank you. We'll catch up with you here in a few minutes.
All right, yes sir.
All right, Leo got the bye for the first round. Round one, you had to buy.
Yep, we got the buy and run. Luckily, Lucas pulled it for us there. Yeah, we had her wicked up pretty hot. And,
I can tell right there.
yeah, did a PB on a slick on 60 foot, but out the back it wasn't going to take it what it had. We had some dome sensor issues, and
Hey, I know you told me, but I don't know if you'll tell on camera or not. It made some boost out back.
yeah, it was next to 50.
We'll leave it at that, and it took it.
Yeah. It have made the lick on it that it's just going left a little bit.
Right. Don't know who you got next round yet, but you kind of gonna just the same tune up or?
Yeah, we're just going. Robbie softened it up a little bit and looked over everything. We're gonna try it again.
Well, I hate that Robbie had his issues that he had there, but you know, fix it, come back, race another day, and
yep.
This hopefully, I'm gonna say it, Leo. You carried this the past 2 weeks, so maybe you can carry us again this week.
Hopefully, we got one or two. We got one of our teammates, Robert Haven, or we got Chester Parker. We're gonna have to run. Chester, he's notorious to be really fast.
Yeah, he is. You hate to draw your own teammate too sometimes.
Yeah, I don't want to draw my teammate. I like to run them in the finals. Be nice.
Exactly.
Yep.
We'll get this thing cooled down, find out who you got for the next round, and get you up there and get you started.
Sounds good.
All right, we go to the next round. You hate to see it, the teammates draw each other, but that's just the way it is. You see that sign right there that says caution wet floor? Mother Nature won today, Robbie.
Yep, all we had was a bunch of wet floors.
But Leo and I'd like to see that race between Leo and Havens right there. But as far as that goes, I guess we'll have to find out another day. So with that being said, you had some wiring issues going on. So you and your brother, we hightailed it back to the shop, and y'all jumped right on this thing, and you got a new driver over there.
I was controlling the buttons.
You control the buttons to the car or controlling the buttons to Robbie?
Both.
Better luck with the car.
Better luck with the car. So you and your brother got in here and started doing a little diagnosing. Jumped on the phone with Leo there, and y'all have narrowed down some stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to fuel tech, change turbos, put a big block in it, and I don't know what else.
Back to E85.
Yeah, I'm with E85 with a stick shift. And single turbo.
118.
You're getting
Just name your car Caitlyn Jenner then.
anything you want to share on the wiring that you've?
Went through just unplugging a harness at a time to see if it would pop a fuse. It's the ignition fuse. Unplugged one harness at a time and narrowed it down to the J1A side of the harness, the engine, the actual Holly harness. So could just be a broke wire inside the loom from the actual Holly harness, or could be something in the Dominator. I don't know. We're gonna try to dummy test with another one next couple days, and then go from there. And I got the whole thing disassembled again. Turbos are off, changing some things. Most people take them off to go bigger, but I'm going back smaller.
Turbo's already off. That didn't take long and it escalated quickly. So what's the plans on the turbos?
I don't know yet. Thinking mostly, like I say, going smaller. Just not sure on the size yet. Thought about going single, but I don't know. It's just trying to do a lot of research before jumping the gun, and don't have a whole lot of time to research.
So what size turbos did you have on there?
These are a VS Racing. So they're G42 series, 73 millimeter. They got the 101 AR backsides, but on the blue car, I had 78 75s for a while with the same size backside. But if you look back at pictures and just videos and data logs, really the 78 75s outperform the spooling of these, even with nitrous helping spool these. And you know, just looking at pictures of them, you can tell their backside was made a lot differently than these VS Racing ones. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just, you know, small motor. You know, they don't make a lot of torque to really keep the shaft speed up in a way to keep the boost happy at lower RPMs, trying to leave on a lot of boost.
So I guess you can say you're commanding a certain amount of boost and it goes to it, and
yeah, and it bounces back and forth. It doesn't really stay steady, as to where like data logs with the 78s with no nitrous, it would come up on 3-step, drop it down, hold say 10 pounds, it'd hold it steady, never have a problem. It didn't matter how much time and you pulled or anything. So just based on the picture, it looks like their 101 neck down going into the exhaust housing, as opposed to these are kind of more open and larger through the whole surface, even though they're technically the same size. But I mean, that's all magic that with the turbo. So
So, do you want to just explain how a turbo works?
Yeah, so it sucks up your opponent and it blows them out the back glass. From all the horsepowers that you make in your little 302.
What about the Torxes?
It doesn't make a lot of those, small motor.
Makes all the RPMs though.
Yeah.
We'll let you explain how this works.
so she overcomplicated it, but basically your exhaust is hooked to this. It makes exhaust gases. It comes in through there, spins this little wheel, and there's a shaft that hooks these two together that spins this wheel, and that's where you get all the horsepower from.
I'll turn it right here.
So the problem I'm having is that I don't think my car at lower RPMs is making enough exhaust pressure when it comes. Like if I have a 3-step setup and it hits 5,000 RPMs, it'll make whatever boost I want it to make. But in a perfect world, I can't leave at 5,000 RPMs every time. So, you know, say if we're leaving 4,000 RPMs, 10, 12 pounds, this thing is not spinning fast enough to keep the boost. So it's going from 10 to like 9.5. And just, you know, I've talked to people and had some help from people. It's like it doesn't matter what timing you pull, where you spray nitrous, whatever you do, dump valve, no dump valve, power glide 400, even though we do have a power glide now.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a minute.
We got some data on that shows it was way better than the 400, so can't complain there.
So basically, like you said, 10 pounds of boost. It's kind of holding it there.
I've made it work since I've had these, because theoretically in the blue car, I never ran these turbos on the front side. It was just backside, low boost, low RPM situations, and they work well there because you're not needing a lot of boost. So even at dig or die, these things worked well. But you know, front side, you know, I have to leave with a lot of boost with this small motor. So, and just RPM, you know, if you get too much RPM, you're gonna knock the tires or whatever.
So that's a pretty good explanation on how the Coyote's working with the turbo or turbos, and
Really, this is probably overkill, so we're gonna go a lot smaller and see. Which is bad that the 78's spooled and kind of ran better than these.
yeah. But like I said,
It all depends on this. This is the main part with these kinds of motors.
at the end of the day, you've got to get whatever power adder you're running, turbo, nitrous, supercharger, whatever, and your engine combination and your transmission combination. Everything's got to be happy and work together.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh, get a converter or this or that," but really, this converter's worked. I mean, I really haven't changed anything. Even transmissions I've changed, and it still works just the same. I mean,
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's been good to you too. But speaking of the transmission, you had the 400. You had some issues with it. You had it gone through. Put it back in, but at the time you were debating going to a glide.
Ever since I switched this car, I thought about going to a glide, and then just kind of having some issues with the 400. You know, which was the reason we couldn't really make it past first round at Elk Creek. Decided to hit up Anton, as Leo's ran the S10 for a long time, and Anton built transmission, and I mean a bunch of other cars I tuned. We've installed some here. They've never skipped a beat. So we decided to make the jump. Went up to Anton, and he built a pretty bad little power glide for this thing, and so. With the first pass, man, the 60-foot was slow because, once again, working on the turbo situation. And at mile an hour, better than the 400 did with the 6 passes I got. And at mile an hour on less boost, more mile an hour. So, yeah.
Less boost, more mile per hour.
And a slower 60-foot, which, I mean, the ET was very similar. I mean, it was a muggy, humid day today. When we ran the 400, it was a nice cool day, really.
Yeah. So I know Anton's already been. He's I don't know if you're blowing his phone up or he's blowing yours up, but I know y'all been trading.
Yeah, just
back and
changing
forth.
some things, working on some charge pressure stuff. Currently not running the dump valve. I'm gonna try not to, but we'll see what it does and just go from there. And you know, mostly focus on the converter because, like I said, it's the same converter I've used for
2 years. The only thing that's changed was one little small stator change when I went to a bolt together.
Yeah.
And really, it's not even still ideal. I mean, it had a good amount of, didn't have a whole lot of slip today, so like I said, I mean, I think it's going to work out good once the turbos are situated.
As far as the glide itself, did you ever consider putting the glide in the blue car, or was weight too much
At
of a
one point
factor?
I did, but it was just too heavy. Like, I tried second gear leaving that thing. I mean, we took this car backside of Wilkesboro, and I made a second gear hit, first ever pass in this car, and I just thought the tune-up that I used from the blue car, this thing's going to be a turtle just the way the blue car left, and it, like, 60 foot away and took off harder than ever did and blew the tire off.
Right.
So, this thing being lighter with the 148 gear set, helped me out to push me towards the glide. Because really, with a 148, you got to have a lot of horsepower. I don't have a lot of that. Well, especially down low.
You're getting a funny look over there.
Now, up top, when we lean on this thing, we'll probably get some more power. And I think this season, if I get turbo situated, transmission stuff situated, I'm going to start finally leaning on this thing in a tune-up, too. I mean, like I said, I've talked to people, you don't get any better by not talking to people. So, just based on what I've heard, it's a little under-timed than what it needs to be. So, I made some changes, and we're going to take some plugs and do some plug reading. It's time to get after this year. Everybody's getting faster, and just work the issues out, and I think we'll have something to compete with.
So you're basically doing your homework and doing what it's going to take to better your racing, or your racing program, or go faster, or whatever you're looking to do.
Yeah, I mean, I've made a bunch of suspension changes on Leo's car, and it worked. So, tells me what I think I have an idea of doing is going to work. Just got to get mine to stay together and do it.
You do realize right behind you here, that one's following your footsteps.
Yeah, he's getting the cheat codes.
There's nothing wrong with getting the cheat codes.
Depends on who you ask if they think it's a cheat code for me doing it.
Well,
I'm just an idiot that pushes buttons on a keyboard.
well, like Leo says, if it fits, it ships, right?
It does.
Brooke, you got anything before we finish this out right here?
No.
Just grinning like a possum in there.
Call Lightning Quick Glides for all your power glide needs.
Yeah, ain't you got a sticker?
Yeah, I got to put it on.
Yeah,
It
well-
wasn't a good day for it because the car didn't run good. It wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't his fault at all. Not at all. Yeah, it's not transmission or anything right there. I believe it's in the wiring issue right there.
Yeah, it's something in the Holly harness. And for some reason, Holly harnesses have a good reputation of having problems. They sometimes get sent out pinned wrong and whatever else. But like I said, we put this thing together in like a month, and some things need to be gone back through just because we rushed to make dig or die. And, some things, all the Holly harnesses loom, so I don't know where it could have rubbed through or wire could have got broke, cut. You never know, man. It's a race car, it happens.
Yeah, that's part of it. Rylan, you want to add anything to this?
No,
Got anything you want to put in here?
nothing.
You got a Lightning Quick Glide too.
Yes, you do. You got one you're working on back here to be on the prowl before long.
Yeah, should be.
Stockball man gonna be in some feelings.
On that note, hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe. New driver,
Looking for turbo sponsors,
turbo sponsors, tire sponsors.
tire, anything.
Heads, high rim sponsors.
Whoa. You got
Heads and a high rim. I need heads and a high rim.
for a 6-gen Camaro.
Yes. Support your girls.
Wow. Yep, we're gonna go on that one.
Let's get deep in here.